Imagine waking up tomorrow to discover that everything you've worked for is gone. Your job, your money, your reputation. Even the people you trusted have walked away. Now ask yourself one question. Who would you be if life took away everything except your mind? The truth is, life doesn't send a warning before it tests you. It doesn't ask if you're ready. One unexpected phone call, one betrayal, one failure, or one heartbreaking loss can change everything in a single moment. Most people spend years preparing for success, but almost no one prepares for suffering. We build comfortable lives, yet neglect the one thing that determines whether we'll survive life's hardest moments: a resilient mind. The ancient Stoics understood this better than anyone. Long before modern psychology existed, great men like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus trained their minds every single day. They knew that true strength wasn't measured by wealth, power, or status. It was measured by the ability to remain calm when everything else fell apart. Their lives were filled with war, loss, betrayal, illness, and unimaginable hardship. Yet they discovered a timeless truth. You don't become strong when the storm arrives. You become strong by preparing long before it does. In this video, you'll discover the powerful Stoic lessons that helped these extraordinary men remain unshaken through life's greatest trials, and how you can apply the same wisdom to your own life today. But before we begin, if you're on a journey to build a calmer, stronger, and more disciplined mind, subscribe to the channel and join our growing community. And in the comments, write "Unshakable Mind" as your commitment to becoming someone no challenge can easily break. Now, let's begin with the first lesson, where we'll uncover why comfort, something most people chase every day, can quietly become your greatest weakness. Chapter 1. The comfort that makes you weak. Picture yourself in ancient Rome. The streets are alive with merchants, soldiers, and politicians. Everywhere you look, people are chasing wealth, status, and luxury, believing these things will protect them from life's uncertainties. Among them is one of the richest men in the empire, Seneca. He owned magnificent homes, had influence in the emperor's court, and could have lived a life of endless comfort. Yet, from time to time, he did something that puzzled everyone around him. He would put on rough clothing, eat the simplest food, and sleep on a hard bed. People couldn't understand why a wealthy man would willingly live like someone who had nothing. But Seneca wasn't trying to impress anyone. He was training. He knew that comfort has a hidden danger. The longer you depend on it, the more you begin to fear losing it. And once fear controls you, life controls you. So he would ask himself, "Is this what I feared?" Each time he embraced discomfort, he discovered the answer was no. The simple meal didn't break him. The hard bed didn't defeat him. Living with less didn't make him weaker. It made him free. Think about your own life. How often do we avoid difficult conversations because they're uncomfortable? How often do we give up on a dream because the journey feels too hard? We naturally seek comfort, but growth has never lived there. The Stoics believed that every small challenge you choose today prepares you for the larger challenges you cannot choose tomorrow. An unshakable mind isn't built in moments of ease. It's built each time you choose discipline over comfort, courage over fear, and purpose over convenience. Because when life finally takes away your comfort, the only thing left to rely on is the strength you've built within yourself. And no one understood that truth more deeply than the man we'll meet next, a man who had everything taken from him, except the one thing no master could ever steal: his mind. Chapter 2. The Man. They could enslave, but never break. Imagine being born with no freedom, no choices, no rights. Your life belongs to someone else, and every sunrise reminds you that you are nothing more than property. That was the reality of Epictetus. Before he became one of history's greatest Stoic teachers, he was a slave in ancient Rome. His master was known for his cruelty, and every day Epictetus lived under the constant shadow of pain and humiliation. One story tells of his master twisting his leg. Calmly, Epictetus warned him, "If you keep twisting it, it will break." His master ignored him. The bone snapped. Instead of screaming in anger or begging for mercy, Epictetus simply replied, "Didn't I tell you it would break?" It wasn't that he couldn't feel pain. It was that he refused to let pain control his mind. Years later, after gaining his freedom, people asked him how someone who had suffered so much could remain so peaceful. His answer was simple. There are things you can control, and there are things you cannot. You cannot control what people do to you. You cannot control betrayal, loss, or misfortune. But you can always control the way you respond. That lesson is just as powerful today as it was 2,000 years ago. You can't stop people from disappointing you. You can't prevent every setback or every painful chapter in your life. But you can decide whether those moments will define you or strengthen you. The moment you stop trying to control everything outside yourself, you begin to discover a strength that no circumstance can take away. Epictetus lost his freedom, but he never surrendered his character. And that is why history remembers the slave, while the names of those who tried to break him have long been forgotten. But even this lesson would be tested on a far greater stage, where the fate of an entire empire rested on the shoulders of one man. In the next chapter, we'll meet the emperor who proved that true leadership begins with mastering your own mind.